What's up, Crew Excellent? I'm back, and I'm super excited. I got back-to-back bangers with y'all. Y'all ain't felt heat like this all year because it's the summer time, and we are in it to win it. Hey, if you are new to the Ladder Podcast, it's a leadership podcast. But before I get into that, let me introduce my guest. I have my wonderful, the illustrious Dr. Jabria Strickland on the pod today. Woo! The crowd goes crazy. Woo! That lady fainted. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the pod. This is the Ladder Podcast. It does exist to talk about leadership in every capacity of the world and how we can apply it to become better leaders. So I thought, who would be better than my little sister to come on and talk about her journey and how she came to be known as one of the most rare individuals on planet Earth. And so, welcome to the pod today, Dr. Jabria Strickland. I am glad to have you. Give the people 3 things that they should know about you.
Okay, let's start with, you always got to start with, I love the Lord.
Come on now. Hallelujah. All right.
And I'm the first doctor in my family.
Come on now.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
And number 3, we're going to go with, I'm your granddad's favorite Crew
Oh my
Excellence
God.
member. Okay, where the granddads at?
Oh,
70 and, no, 60. How old you start being a granddad?
So 50 for some of them.
Okay,
It
50
depends.
and older.
Hey, I know some 40-year-old grandpas. It
Gotta
depends.
have a beard.
Lord have mercy. This is taking a turn for the left. I did not expect that. I apologize to all the granddads out there and the slander done to your name. That was not intended through the pod. No, that's super dope. You are the first doctor in the family. We do have some street pharmacists in the family. I don't know. All right, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know if they qualified as doctors. That's my fault. I didn't know if they qualified. I guess you're the first official doctor. You feel me? So, hey, I want to talk. So here's the thing. I'm going to give a couple percent. I'm going to give them again at the end. But this one, I say you one of the most rare individuals on planet Earth. This is what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is only 2% of the population of the world are doctors. So only 2% of the world are doctors. So like, it's like almost being 6'2" and up, right? Like you in part of that 2%. It's not that many of you. And then on top of that, only 4.4% of doctors are black women. So we talking about, I did the math, and I'm not an accountant, so leave me alone in the comment. It's like 0.02% chance that you are a black woman and a doctor in the world. Not just the city, the world, Craig. And so we are in rare air, okay? So I just want y'all to let y'all know it's not too often that you get to hear from someone with the credentials like Dr. Jabria Strickland. And so everyone wants to know, do you just love school? Like, let's start there. Do you just love school? Because that's most people like, I can never. That's too much school.
That's the crazy part. I actually really dislike school. Just being honest. I feel like the teaching is not conducive to my learning style.
Uh-huh.
It's PowerPoint and talk. But I will say, if you have a goal and that's the path that's the only path I can get to reach it, I gotta go to school. I had no other option to become a doctor.
Got you.
So yeah, no, I don't love school.
Yeah, so it wasn't your love of school that kept you going.
No, I think those are people who get PhDs. For real. I think those are the
medical
people who
doctors.
love
You don't think they love school. You think they love the profession.
Yes.
And it's a means to an end.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I think you're probably right. Because I'm thinking about the people I know who got PhDs versus doctors. And because your PhD students don't necessarily need their degree to do what they're doing, whereas the doctors need their degree. That is interesting.
And then I think a lot of PhDs go back to work in education. So, like, you going through school to go back to school.
Yeah.
Nah.
You graduated, I'm done with school.
I'm done with school.
So you wouldn't teach at optometry school?
No.
No?
I guess I will never say never, but in the space
Right
I'm
now?
in right now, that was never my plan. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to that. First, I want to start journey through higher ed. So when did you know you were going to be a doctor? Did it start in undergrad? Like, were you preparing to be a doctor in undergrad?
I think, yes. I knew I was always a science girl, and then I kind of knew I wanted to be a doctor in undergrad. But I also thought I wanted to be a dancer a little
Yeah.
more. So I think because I didn't see doctor, as we talk about 0.02%,
Yeah.
and just, I mean, it's probably greater than that, but, you know, in the community, you don't see a lot of doctor.
Yeah.
So you don't really know the path to get there. So you think, oh, let me do this other career path that I have seen people who look like me do.
Yeah.
So then I thought, you know, maybe a dancer was more attainable, a more reachable goal. So I would say doctor was always on my mind, but I just didn't know the path to get there and didn't see it as attainable for me.
That's fair. And when you say dancer, we got to be specific. It's social media. What kind of dancer were you trying to be?
I thought I was going to be trying out for Al Bailey.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Travel, ballet,
Modern,
some, what's it called?
Or I thought I was going to have my own dance in school.
Not hip hop. What's it
Jazz?
called when you dance to the words?
Liturgical? Like,
Girl, not praise dancing. Liturgical. Darn doctors. No. What is it called? It's not modern. I'm going to think of it later. Whatever.
mime?
No, shut up. I ain't talking about no miming. It's an actual form of dance. Oh, I cannot think of the name of it. It's all right. I know more about dancing than you do. That's all.
Okay.
So you was like, I'm going to be a dancer. I'm going to open my own dance school. You go to DePaul, transfer to Wichita State. You're dancing. You're in part of the dance group. You graduate from Wichita State. When does it go, I'm going to be a doctor? Dancing is not for me.
My last year, so my senior year at Wichita State, I hated tryouts. There were so many tryouts in dance. And a lot of times you don't get picked because you're the worst dancer. They're looking for a certain build, a certain height, a certain hair color. Like, it gets really...
Yeah.
And that makes the dancers competitive and not as friendly, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do not want to spend my life like this, like competing with the next person. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. That's
Really?
the world.
Yeah. The world you're in as a dancer. And it's like every year you're getting older. So then the competition is getting harder. I was like, I need a career that's more sustainable, more lifelong. And then also, I decided I didn't want to open my own dance school because I love the babies, but...
Now, I remember you was teaching them little ones. You was like, I don't know if I can do this.
I love teaching them, but doing that for the rest of my life was a hard pass for me.
Got you.
So I think it was my senior year. I remember going to the office and was like, I want to change to pre-med. What are the prereqs I need? And they told me all these prereqs I didn't have. And I said, well...
I remember this.
I was gonna get. Give me the degree I was gonna get.
Like, I'm gonna be a doctor, but I don't gotta get it from y'all. Yeah, I gotta get it from here.
Out of Wichita, this is my 4th year. I gotta go. I mean, a lot of people do 5 years, but I knew I did not want.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'll just get the degree I had, which was ethnic studies with emphasis in dance.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to do my own research and figure out how to navigate the world and get into a doctoral program.
Got you. No, that's dope. So I mean, I heard you say like, bro, I ain't want to end up like Aunt Viv. You know what I'm saying? You remember? You know the episode?
But she still had it.
Yeah, and what she do when she walked out of there?
Pass out.
She passed out because she was old. But no, you're 100% right. Like, dance is a young woman's game.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be in it for a while if you're not the top 1%, right? Like, it's just, it's so many professions where you don't have to be the best, or let me not even say the best. You don't have to be historical to maintain your relevance and to be successful. Dance is one of them. Athletics, period, is one of them. You really have to be probably the best athlete from your state or city to make a life doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, dance teachers make a career out of it.
Yeah.
But
you was like, I don't want to teach the baby. So that
helping me out.
No, yeah, it's all right. I got you. I understand. What do you think, as you navigated undergrad, what things did you learn that you took with you to your next stage, your next step?
I learned a lot about leadership from undergrad, I would say. I was president of my chapter in sorority, and I think that helped build my confidence for sure, but also just give me like organizational skills, how to be over a group of women. I think all that was really helpful.
Do you think it is difficult to lead peers? Like, did you think that was difficult at the time? Because a lot of leaders, they lead, you know what I'm saying, they have people underneath them or whatever. But when you're in college and you're the president of an organization, it's you and people older than you, yes, same age, like it's basically your peers. How did you find leading your peers? What things did you find difficult? What things did you enjoy?
Difficult, I would say, is delegation for me, is because I'm gonna just do it myself. And but you can't do that when you're over a group of people, because you want them to feel included.
Yeah.
You want them to feel important, and they have gifts, that they could be better at some task. I just know, like, if I do it, it's gonna get done.
100%.
And that's just so hard as a leader, for sure, is the delegation aspect.
Yeah.
And what would I say that I enjoyed? I like leading your peers because they're your friends at the end of the day. Like, we're going to meetings, but we're kicking it, and we're all on the same page because we're all at college trying to get a degree. So I think that's the beautiful, and it's all Black women in my organization was. So I think it's beautiful just to be around a group of Black women who are motivated, who are trying to do something great in their community and with their life. So
yeah, no, that's dope. I agree. Delegation is probably the most difficult part of leadership, which is why I'm a solopreneur. Shout out to Nate. You know what I'm saying? He contracted out though. You feel me? That's how we do it. That's how we do it. So I understand the art of delegation, how difficult it can be. But I do. I think that when you talk about being around people like you who are like-minded, who are chasing the same thing, that is why college is one of the most fun places to be, is because that's who you're around, right? You're around people who like, hey, I came here to change my life, to chase something better. And so being a leader in that atmosphere that's the best people you want to lead, right? Those are the people you want to lead because they really want something. So that's super dope. And so you get out of undergrad, you got the ethnic studies degree. You decided you don't want to teach African-American studies at your local high school. And so what's the journey? Because I remember, you're my little sister. So I remember you graduated with ethnic studies degree and you was like, I'm going to be a doctor. And I was like, you got to talk me through this one. Because I'm not a doctor. I don't know the path. But I don't know ethnic studies was the way to go. So, but you that's why you 0.2%. You could think of that and see it. What did you do to get prepared, and what was your next step?
Well, I will say I didn't know what I was doing. That's why it took me, some years. Like I was figuring it out too. Like I didn't know what I was doing. So after that, I was like, you know what? I don't have the right degree, but something that can trump a degree is experience. So let me see how I can get some experience in the medical field, because I didn't really have any at that point.
Yeah.
So I got a EMT.
I remember that.
Yeah, I got my EMT in the summer, and then I started working at KU to get some hands-on experience. I started working in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm looking at websites for schools. I'm like, okay, what do they need? Yeah. Mind you, I still don't got these prereqs these science classes that I was supposed to take in undergrad. Yeah. So I'm like, how can I get I don't want to just take them. I could have just took the prereqs at JUCO and went about my life. Yeah. But I'm like, how do I look more attractive on an application? Let me go get a master's in a science course so they can see, I can really handle a heavy load of science classes, although I didn't have that in undergrad. Yeah. Because I'm competing with people who got biology degrees, chemistry degrees. They've had that heavy science load. So then I got accepted into the master's program at KCUMB, which was really good because it opened me into a world of, it's not just medical school to be a doctor. That seems obvious, but
no, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, you don't think about dentists go to a certain school, 100%. Eye doctors go to a certain school, pharmacists go to a certain, nurse practitioners go to a certain, it's a lot of different avenues. Yeah. To obtain the name doctor. So then I started digging into, so which one do I want to be? Because I hadn't really thought about that before I was in my master's program. Because
I would assume, just like normal people, we think doctor, the two things that pop in our mind are kind of ER, hospital, and then family practitioner. Yeah. Then it's that's when we think of doctor, that's kind of where our mind goes, right? Maybe surgeon, yeah.
Maybe pediatrics.
Yeah. That's hospital doctor or you go see your checkup. Yeah. What is that what you were thinking? Because I thought you were in surgery was kind of where you were thinking at first.
I thought I wanted to do surgery for sure. But yeah, I was really narrow-minded.
Because you just didn't know.
And even when you go to medical school, there's so many specialties in that region when it comes to residency. So it's just a lot you you just don't know because you're not exposed to it.
Yeah. And so you at KCUMB.
Mm-hmm.
How did you choose KCUMB, by the way? Like, was it because it was local, or like, how did you go about finding that program?
Local was one of the reasons, but also because it was an accelerated master's, so I could get my master's in a year. Because I feel like I always felt like I was behind schedule. And also I'm like, this is going to look real good. Like, not only did you not have a science background, but you got into an accelerated master's program and you did good in that program. So that's really why I chose KCUMB.
Okay.
Also, they have a medical school with it.
Okay.
So I was like, if I do really good in here, then I could just stay. Yeah.
School. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And so you get in this accelerated program and you're not taking modern jazz or,
you don't know what class.
Daughter of the Hoteps.
What is that?
I figured that's what y'all take in African American studies.
No. Ethnic studies.
Ethnic studies. My apologies. So I got to be grammatically correct. How is that?
Oh, it's hard. I'm just gonna be honest.
Because that, to me, I'm not sciencey. That ain't my world. I am way more like history. Let me write. Let me talk. I'm not. Let me do A plus B equals C squared and iron
like physics,
which is science. I don't know if you know that.
I do know.
So okay, I mean, I thought you would know it. But so I know for me, going from the world I'm in to taking biology courses, I would cry every day. So, like, how was that for you? What was the adjustment? And tell me, what's the first class you was like, whoo, this is
Anatomy.
crazy.
I'll answer quick. I ain't even got to think about it. Let me tell you. Anatomy. Because them names is not in English. Okay? I was like, woo. But shout out to all the people who went to KCUMB with me because we had a really good community of Black people who just was like, let's lock in. We all got the same goal for real. Like, we all want to get into a doctoral program. Like, let's lock in. Yeah. And that was really helpful because a lot of them did have science backgrounds. So I'd be like, yo, explain this to me who doesn't have the biology degree. Help me out. Because a lot of them are like, oh, we learned this in undergrad. Oh, well, I didn't.
Yeah,
so,
I need a little help.
Yeah. So we would just be at that school all day. We'd go to class in the morning and we'd go to the library. Or we would go to our study halls and just lock in all day. It was nice because, I mean, they tell you don't have a job while you're in this program because it's accelerated. So it is your job. Yeah. Like, you clocking in 8 to 5, just studying. So that's really how I got through that program. But yeah, no, it was not easy. Yeah,
that sounds, I mean, and it sounds like with anything hard, if you have community, that's kind of what helps get you through. And kind of hold you up as you're chasing something big. Where at the time, so you at KCUMB, you grinding, you got your peoples. When do you start to kind of decide, hey, I want to go the optometry route? And what was that like for you?
So I always say, like, God puts little things in your life, and at that moment when you're there, you're like, it's insignificant, but then later on, you're like, dang, you remember that moment in life. So when I was younger, I had an optometrist. He was a Black man. And I remember my mom was like, Jabril likes science, like telling him this. I'm young, probably 13, 14, something. I'm really young. Yeah. And my mom was like, Jabril really likes science. He was like, well, you should be optometrist. Like, this is a great field. He was like, I'm working here. They paying for my loans. Like, he was like, I'm from Chicago, but I came here because they going to pay for my loans. Like, this is a good job. And you know me at 14, I was like, okay, like, keep going through life. But I remember when I was in my program, it clicked that I did not want to go to medical school when I was in my master's program.
What clicked for you? What was the point? It was like, I don't want to do that.
When I saw how many years it was going to take.
And so talk to me. So you got to, if I come out of my master's in bioscience, how many years am I looking of medical school and residency before I can practice?
4 years of medical school, but then residency, it can depend. Some are 4, some are 6. And then after residency.
6 years of residency?
And then
see, on the TV shows, it be feeling like 2 weeks. Like on Scrubs, you know what I'm saying? It felt like a month,
was a comedy.
A year. And it was a wonderful show.
It was a good show.
6 years of residency?
It could be, yeah.
And so if you're a resident, are you getting paid?
Yes, but not.
So you're not making doctor money.
But you are a doctor.
But you're making, like, let's say, teacher money?
Yeah, upper teacher.
Upper teacher, like 60, 70?
Yeah.
Okay, as a resident. Okay. All right. And so, but 6 years of residence. So we talking
It could be
maybe
four.
it could be another decade
Yes.
before you are officially a practicing
And then
doctor.
a lot of doctors after residency have to still do fellowship.
What's a fellowship?
It's like a real special.
Wasn't I fellowshipping in the residency? I
No,
gotta talk to people.
No, a lot of people do residency and they're done, but some doctors even go along.
And this is like if I'm super specialized.
Yeah.
So that's if I want to make the money.
Well, not really. You're gonna make good money after a residency. But
yeah, but if I do a fellowship, I better make more.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, you could.
No, I need it to be permanent.
So like take like an ophthalmologist, for example. They'll do their residency, which will be general ophthalmology.
Okay.
So after that, they could go and do cataract surgery and things like that. Mm-hmm. But if they want to specialize and say, like, I'm a retina doctor, they'll do a fellowship specifically in retina or a fellowship specifically in glaucoma, and they'll be a glaucoma specialist.
Okay.
So it's just if you want to extra specialize, you probably will make more money. But
okay, I needed to hear that because my mind I'm like, bro, more time, more school, more money, and I don't make none?
Yeah.
Foolishness. All right, so you like, hey, and you have had all this thing in your whole life. I mean, we talk about this all the time. I'm behind.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm behind. So you in medical, you're in your master's of bioscience. And you're 25, right?
Younger.
24?
Yeah, maybe 24.
Is it 24?
Yeah.
So which is ludicrous. You're 24, getting a master's of bioscience. I'm behind.
Yeah, that's
I'm
me.
behind.
Yeah.
When. And so you look at the doctor, you like, that's going to make me more behind.
Yes.
And so now you start to look at other avenues. So what else was on the table other than optometry?
PA.
What is physical?
Physician
assistant. Oh, okay.
That's like a 2-year program.
Okay.
That's really the only other thing I considered.
Okay, so it was physician's assistant or optometry.
Yeah.
And what made you pick optometry?
I think, like I said, just remembering back to that time when, and then I just started doing my like research. They have an amazing work-life balance to me,
which is important.
And
a lot of doctors don't have that.
And they also have an amazing relationship with their patients. That's what I love.
Recurring.
Yeah, you're going to see that same patient year after year. You're going to form a bond with them. We're not rushed. So I get to talk to my patients. I get to ask them questions about things that are not related to their eye or their health. We're going to do all that too. But it's just nice to know, like, at the end of the day, like, they're going to leave knowing who I am as a person. It's not just going to seem like, oh, this doctor. Yeah. So I really like that about optometry.
That's cool. And so you like, all right, I'm going to optometry school. And I found this today because I was getting ready for the pod because I'm a professional, all right?
A procrastinator.
Maybe, but I'm ready. There's only 24 optometry schools in the United States and Canada.
Yes. They're opening more. They're trying to, but yeah.
So this sounds like this is super specialized. This is very difficult to get in. I saw the average GPA is about a 3. The requirement is a 3.0, but the average for most of their students is like a 3.5. And you got to take the OAT, which is harder than the MCAT for my master's people. And the reason the OAT is harder is the OAT is purely technical. So it's all technical knowledge. If either you know it or you don't.
Yeah, that physics session gonna get you.
Yeah, like the MCAT, you can kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's principles, it's things you can work your way through it. There's things you got to know, but there's a lot of stuff that if you understand the principle, you can get through it. The OAT, either you know it or you don't, Playboy. So you study for the OAT. Do you have to take the OAT coming out of your master's program?
Yes, you still have to take it. I think now maybe it's changed, but when I was back, that's the only test they accepted.
Okay.
So yes, I took it. So after my master's program and I decided I'm going to optometry school, I was like, let me get experience.
Yeah.
So I went to work for an eye doctor, and that's when I was studying for the OAT to take that. So that was my year after my master's.
Got you. So you got a master's, you take a gap year, get ready to take the OAT. I take the OAT, and then you start applying for optometry schools. Mm-hmm. How was that process? How did you end up landing at UMSL? And then just talk me through, we're going to go through your time there.
So, like you said, it's only 21st school, so I said I need to, apply to a lot of schools so I have a chance of getting in, was my thought process. So, I think I applied to like 6 schools.
Okay.
My number one at the time was SEO.
In Boston, right?
Memphis.
Okay.
Because the doctor I worked with went to SEO, and he talked so highly of it. So, I said, okay. And he was a good doctor, so I said, I'm going Southern.
Yeah.
That was at the top of my list. But of course, I applied to UMSL because it was close. It's the closest optometry school to Kansas City.
Gotcha.
And it's also smaller. So all the other optometry schools have classes of like 100.
It's like, I can't do that.
I did that in my master's program. We were about 120 in the master's. I didn't want to do that again. So I said, let me try UMSL. Their class was about 50, around 50 is what they averaged.
Okay.
So I applied there. I applied to school in Boston. I applied to some Chicago schools. Gosh, that was so long ago. I can't remember. But yeah, I know I applied to at least those.
Yeah.
I went to interview. So this is 2020.
Yeah. Pandemic.
So I go to interview in Boston January. I get accepted. The price of that school is crazy. The price of living in Boston is crazy. I have a dog at the time, and they're talking about like, no, for real. They're talking about like, you can't bring a car here. Don't bring a car here. Yep. If you have a pet, it's gonna be hard to find an apartment. Like, it was just seeming like, okay, this is probably not the best option. I did love the school. I loved the visit, but I was just like, this. I got some other schools I can look at. So then I go to the UMSL interview in February. They offer me a scholarship.
Yeah.
Off the bat, they accept me. So I still have my Southern interview, which is where I really wanted to go. Well, I thought or whatever. I was like, that's where I wanted to go in Memphis. So my Southern interview was scheduled March something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the week before, the world shuts down. The week before my Southern interview, the world shuts down. And I have UMSL like, we need an answer. Are you coming here or not? Like, you have to tell. Yeah, we're holding your spot. Like, we have a wait list, which all schools do. So I'm like, I'm just going to go to my Southern interview first. It's all fine. But then the world shuts down. And Southern just cancels my interview. They don't tell me anything other than your interview is canceled.
Well, because nobody knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like...
Nobody knows when the world's opening back up. Yeah.
It's the first world shutdown, y'all. We don't know when they going to open it back up.
That's true. So then, but long story short, Southern ends up contacting me like a month later, schedules me a Zoom interview. I do the Zoom interview, but then I get put on the wait list. And UMSL is still like, you haven't told us nothing. Like, you're going to have to pay a deposit to hold your spot. Like, now they're talking money. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to UMSL.
Got you.
I'm like, God must want me to go to UMSL. Yeah. It's crazy because, like, 2 weeks after I paid the deposit, Southern called me. It's like, you off the wait list, which is crazy. But, I mean, I believe everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to UMSL. But, yeah. So, that's how I ended up at UMSL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. And so, and when I'm hearing your journey, and really I want you guys to understand what's going on this pod. It's a little different. Is sometimes we only see leaders when they're at their apex, and we don't see their journey. And so today I wanted to really focus on how she got to where she is today, and just kind of pull back the curtain and take you through the steps of what it takes to become extraordinary, right? Which is what we're all kind of pursuing in some capacity. And so you get to UMSL, you struggle, you fight. You know what I mean? You're at the pandemic in St. Louis in a new city and doing new coursework with new people. A lot of them don't look like you, ain't from where you from. But you make it, right? You make it against all odds, all right? Against all odds, you make it through. And you graduate. Tell me about that feeling when you finish, when you get your hood. What was that like?
Yo, year one. If year one Jabria saw me getting hooded, she'd be like, dang, I didn't think we was gonna make it. I'm gonna be honest. No, for real. Year one, I did not think I would graduate optometry school. Even year two, I was like, nah. But year three, I was like, this still sucks, but I ain't going back. Yeah. I ain't going. I'm more than halfway done now. I think, I don't know. I'm just super proud that I did not give up all the times I wanted to. I could have. Nobody would have said, if I would have said I'm dropping out of optometry school, who would have said something?
I would have said something, but
I mean,
but I understand. I can't stop you. Yeah, that part is true. Can't nobody stop you from quitting.
Yeah. So it's definitely it got to be a mental dig deep 100%, thing.
Yeah.
So.
And of your class, how many people did say, I'm done?
I think we started out with 52. We ended up with 45.
That's not bad. That's actually not bad.
That's not bad.
And all of them didn't quit. Some of them got the boot. I remember your homeboy.
I don't know who he's talking to about podcasts. I have no idea.
She could check the rosters for. No, I'm just playing. No, so yeah, so and that's the thing too. When you're in optometry school, you got to we got to maintain a 3.0.
It's not really a grade point average, as you can't fail any class, and fail
no
is
C.
is below a C. Yeah.
So no C, no
you
D.
You can get a C, no D or F.
Okay, all right. So
but they let you retake the whole year if you do get a D or F.
They let you. Isn't that so wonderful of them? You can retake the whole year. Thanks. I failed one class.
Yeah,
that's rough. Yeah, that's
the
rough.
hard knock life out here.
No, for real.
You gotta get in, but some people choose like not to redo the year. So.
Yeah, no, I got you. So you graduate not too long ago. About a month ago now.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It's been crazy. Surreal, right? Yeah. Being done with school, not having coursework.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not studying for any test or and so you're moving into your career. What's next for you? Where in the near future and kind of let's dream 10 years from now where you want to be.
Oh. That's crazy, 10 years. So I'm going to start out in a private practice setting, which I'm really excited about. It's kind of where I wanted to be. So I'm glad I got a job in private practice. Mm-hmm. In 10 years, where do I see Jabria?
Yeah. Where is this going to take you? Where do you want to be?
Where do I want to be? I would love to have my own practice one day. Mm-hmm. So 10 years might be a good plan. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I would love to be a practice owner. Mm-hmm. And whatever that looks like. And just kind of putting myself out more into the optometry world. I don't know if that looks like being on a board or doing lectures or I don't know. But I would love to do leadership roles in optometry in the future for sure.
Yeah. And then as someone who is in a kind of a unique position, right? Like as far as like people that look like you from where you from, they don't really end up where you are. How do you feel like you can help other people see it as possible? What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like you have a responsibility for that?
For sure. Because if I never would have had that doctor when I was 14, like it would have never been like in my, memories. Yeah. Visibility is very key. And that can look like different things, mentorship, just doing career fairs, things like that. Doing a school eye exam, school screenings. There's different ways to get around visibility, but that's the most important. And the peak ages, I think, are like high school students when they're deciding, like, what am I going to go to college for? Yeah. And they maybe think like I did, like, okay, a doctor is not really obtainable for me. What can I do that's safer? And I don't want them to think that, like, it's safer. Yeah. Whatever else. Yeah. Like, doctor is very much attainable. Yeah. So.
No, that's dope. I have always been impressed by you. And then, with each year, you get even more impressive. And so I'm honored to have been a part of your journey in some capacity, even as just a cheerleader for real. Like, you can do it. Stop all that crying.
Sometimes you gotta cry.
No, you're right. Sometimes you gotta cry. That's true. I'm learning. And so I want to most importantly just make sure you know that I'm honored that you came to spend some time with me today on the pod. It's not too often that you get to sit down with a doctor, and so I don't take it lightly, even though you be at my house all the time. I can't wait to come to your house. That's the thing. Pod Crew Excellence. As soon as Jabria gets some keys, I am going to Rick James her couch. And if you don't get the reference, watch Chappelle's show, okay? I cannot wait to go Rick James to your couch.
You would have to know my address. So.
Oh, I have your location. She been there for a long time. That must be where she lives. So no, I'm super, super excited to see you. I can't wait till I say my eye doctor is black. And I pull up at the practice, you know what I'm saying? And I'm super excited to keep seeing you grow as a leader. Cause I think sometimes when we're super technical, we don't see how impactful we can be in the leadership realm. But I think because you've had leadership opportunities all throughout your journey, you have a good understanding of, hey, yes, I have this amazing wealth of technical knowledge, but there's some art to this leadership thing that I can also share with the world. And so thank you for gracing Crew Excellence. with your story today, with your journey, kind of peeling back the curtain on how you became one of the rarest humans on earth. Any two things, if I got some people watching and they want to do something difficult, they want to do something that they've never seen nobody else do before, can you tell them 2 or 3 things that can kind of encourage them on their journey?
I would say the journey is necessary. Because you see where you are now and you see where you want to go. You can't see the in-between, but that part is necessary to make you into the leader or whatever your goal is trying to be. Yeah. Whether that journey be long or short, all of it is important.
Yeah.
That would be 1. And 2, don't pass up opportunities. If somebody asks you, that's a door God is opening. I believe that. If somebody asks you to do this, do that, they're asking you specifically for a reason. So I would say don't pass up on opportunities. Sometimes I would be like, I'm so busy with school, but I would say take the time. God is opening that door for a reason. Down the line, that person might remember you for something like, oh, they did a good job here. Let me ask them. So you never know. And you can always bless somebody by doing that. So those would be my 2.
Yeah, I love both of those. I almost got here to run in when you talked about God opening doors. Come on. I've been practicing my shouting too. They're my 2 things. I've been practicing.
Do you practice shouting?
Crying and
Let me
shouting.
know in the comments. Do you practice shouting?
I feel like you should if you want to be a good one. Like, I feel like, I'm new to the shouting world, so y'all let me know. I'm a newbie. Let me know. Thank y'all for joining Crew Excellence today. It's been an honor and privilege as always. You could be anywhere in the world doing anything with anybody, but you hanging out with your boy on the YouTube. And hey, I hope you come back next week, man. Until next time, it's your favorite Crew Excellence member. I apologize to the granddad because I'm hanging out with your grandma. And I'm see you next week, man. Peace. Crew Excellence, another great episode. I'm so honored to be leading the journey you're on. And I just want to let you know, this is what we're building here. We're building a community and an audience and a family that pursues excellence together. And if you want to be part of that family, right, this content's free. You can keep coming over here every Friday, catching a podcast, but we have so much more. First of all, if you join Crew Excellence, you get the podcast on Thursday. Yup, 24 hours early. Second thing, you get part of our private group where we talk about leadership every single day. You get Motivation Monday. You get discounts on merch. Okay. And anytime we have an event, you get first dibs on tickets. So I think that being a part of this community is amazing. There's definitely different levels to it. But hey, if you just watching and you say that ain't for me yet, cool. I appreciate you. Keep watching. Like, comment, subscribe. But if you want to go deeper and you want to be more of a part of a community that loves each other and that pushes each other to be their best self, go ahead, head over to the website, join Crew Excellence. It's a membership site on the site. You can join it and then you get entered right into the community, plugged in. Hey, it's dope over there. I'm talking about fire. You missing out. But hey, I love y'all for whatever you do and however you are a part of Crew Excellence. And I can't wait till next week. Please watch another video. If you missed the episode, tune in because they all fire. All right, man. It's the host who's the Moses, your favorite Crew Excellence member, and I'm out. Peace.